Hello, my dear sweet little chickadees. This is Cole, the resident astrologer of Smudge Wellness, and this is your monthly horoscope for the month of September. Now, the Smudge Wellness theme of the month is commitment, right? So making sure that we're not only committing to ourselves and our partners, but also to committing to our work and our spirituality. So let's look at all the astrological transits that are going to be going on and how they might impact us and our levels of commitment. Now, we start off the month with a Mars opposition to Neptune, and I think this is a really important transit for looking at the entire scope of September, because Neptune plays a really important role for the rest of the month, especially as it pertains to the new and the full moon that'll be happening. Now, a Mars opposition to Neptune can make us a little bit more suspicious, a little bit more lackadaisical, and play on those inner saboteur conversations in our mind of am I good enough? Am I doing all the right things? A lot of self-deceit, but also perceived deceit from other people. Really make sure that you start off the month not by allowing those thoughts to control you, right? And understand that if you've already gone through the effort of building strong relationships with yourself and with others, then these thoughts are just gonna linger for a little bit and then they're gonna go. However, make sure that you also pay attention to them, right? Because they could reveal some insecurities that you might need to unpack a little bit more, right? And start making more of a commitment towards focusing on those. On September 6th, we're going to be having a new moon in Virgo. We know new moons to be times of new opportunity, right? But also from the context of Virgo, it's all about planning, diligence, getting shit done, right? Really saying, what is the new opportunity that I want to go after? And now when we think about it from the lens of commitment as well too, right? The Smudge Wellness monthly theme, really saying, okay, what are the things that I need to start putting in place? What are the sort of, diligent efforts that I can start exuding, the to-do list that I need to start, checking things off right now so that I can be more committed, right, to myself, to others, and to also my work and my spirituality. On September 10th, Venus is going to move into the sign of Scorpio, right, out of its home sign in Libra and into this very powerful, very transformative, very reflective, and also sometimes a little obsessive sign of Scorpio. Really thinking about this transit, right, in the month that's going to lead after Venus moves into Scorpio as this time to really transform your relationships, right? A time for you to kind of have this sense of, okay, am I trusting my intuition with what I'm doing? Am I trusting my ability to say this is what's best for me and this is what's not best for me, right? It's a really good time to embrace all of those Scorpio qualities, right? All those reflective qualities, all those somewhat mysterious qualities, but also right? All of those qualities that allow us to say, this is what might be holding me back and this is how I can potentially move forward. And what's great about Scorpios as well too, as we tie it back to this sense of commitment, is once Scorpios know, right? And once Scorpio energy reveals something that is a truth, go all in for it. Once we hit the middle of the month, September 14th, Mars is going to move into Libra. Now, Mars is in a little bit of a tricky situation when it moves into Libra, right? Because Libra is all about the sense of balance, right? The sense of what's best for everyone else. And Mars is the get shit done planet, right? It's the planet that says, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to go after. But what's nice about this is that from the lens of commitment, this transit is now going to give us the opportunity to say, okay, where have I may have been a little bit too selfish, right? Or where have I been a little bit too selfless, right? Now we have this dichotomy playing, right? And Libra, Mars in Libra is going to give us the opportunity to balance our decisions, right? And balance our actions in order to make sure that we are making sure that we're not overcommitting or undercommitting ourselves in any sort of way. Now on September 20th, the full moon is going to happen in Pisces and it's going to be conjunct Neptune. This is really the moment that I think across the board means the most for September, right? You have these two spiritual powerhouses happening in probably the most spiritual of the signs, right? Neptune, it's all about our sense of spirituality. It's all about our sense of intuition. It also does speak to this sense of suspicion, right? Sometimes anxieties, disillusion, right? The glamour, the drama of things, over exaggeration. And then we also have this essence of the moon, right? Our moods and our emotions. And Pisces loves to amplify all of that, right? Because Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So now the full moon has this Neptune rulership. Really make sure that this is a culmination, right, of a potential release of energy and a potential sort of saying, you know what? Now I am feeling everything that is coming to the forefront, right? Now I am really embracing my own sense of sentimentality, right? And my own sense of spirituality. But really make sure that you don't allow yourself to become overtly suspicious, right? Or overtly sort of disillusioned, right? Or investing too much in all of the potential indulgences, right? That distract us, right? Or put us into a dream state. This full moon is going to be really important that we stay on track with everything, right? And we don't allow the quick moment in time to, set us back in any way. Then on September 22nd at approximately 3:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the sun is going to move into Libra, right? Yes, Libra season is going to be upon us. Very, very excited for this. Libra really is all about that sense of balance, right? And finding that sense of where is my balance in life, right? Where is my ability to manage my personal relationship with myself, with my spiritual relationship, with my, relationships with my friends, family, lover, right? And then work as well too. Libra season really, really does have this nice tone, especially when we tie it back to the Smudge Wellness theme of commitment, right? And making sure that we are committing ourselves in a way that is very, very unique, very, very personal, but also too, it's not one-sided, right? Libra is all about finding that middle ground, finding that sense of understanding through all perspectives. So once we get into Libra season, I think we're really going to be feeling that kick of, oh, okay, this is how I find that mutual understanding with commitment that I've been looking for. On the 25th, there's going to be a grand air trine, right, between Saturn and Aquarius, Lilith and Gemini, and then also Mars in Libra, right? We think about air sign energy from this level of intellectualism, right? This level of thinking, but also to free-spiritedness. And then we have all of these really, really kind of structured planets, right? Saturn, right? We know that to be the structure planet. Mars, the one that's all about like, what can I do? What can I get done? And then Lilith, right? Which is all about our sense of, unrelenting passion, right? And then also too, how we experience shame and rejection. So really looking at it from this perspective of, am I over-analyzing all of those areas of my life, right? Am I over-analyzing or potentially even too under-analyzing, right, my structure? Am I being a little bit too free-spirited, right? And am I also too not allowing myself to, or potentially over-allowing myself to let people's other perceptions, right, and the little words and little yaps, get stuck in my head, become my own mental saboteur. So it's really about taking back control, right, and finding the sense of structure over our mind, right, and the exertion of that through our passions, and then also to our day-to-day structure. Now, on the 27th of September, Mercury is going to go stationary, right before it hits our official retrograde on the 29th. Mercury retrograde, scary. Oh my gosh, it's horrifying. But guess what? It's happening in Libra, and this is our third retrograde of the year, all happening in air signs. So it's all about this intellectual reflection, right? Reflecting on the things that we learned at the beginning of the year through the Aquarius retrograde. Reflecting on our dissemination of knowledge and information during the Gemini retrograde, and now through the Libra retrograde, right? How can we balance this new learning, this new identity, and this new sense of self through all of this learning that we've all had to go through in 2021 and in 2022 as well too, right? So starting the 27th, we're gonna really be feeling this energy until we hit, right, the 29th, when we go full-fledged into Mercury retrograde up until mid-October. And now that we have covered all of the transits that I want to talk about this month, let's talk about a sign-to-sign horoscope, starting with Aries. Aries, there's a lot of energy going on in your 12th house, right? With all of the full moon, right? All of the influence of Neptune that I feel this month in September for you. So really thinking about this sort of self-reflection, right? And this observation, right? And this release of the inner personal demon that you might be holding on to, right? 12th house is a very reflective house, right? It's a very privatized sense of the house, but it also too is our spirituality. So reconnect with your spirituality in that way. Tauruses, for this month, I think it's a really interesting time to reflect on the home, right? New initiatives that you might want to take with the home, especially because of the new moon that's going to be happening in your Virgo in your 4th house. So really it is this opportunity to say, all right, what do I want to have happen, right? Where do I want to see my home start developing itself a little bit more, and having a nice dialogue with that and starting making some action plans with it as well too. Geminis, the full moon is going to be happening in your 10th house, right? The house of the career, the house of the social status, right? And the full moon is all about this culmination, right? So what do you need to do up until the full moon, right? This month of September, to really, really get yourself to that career point that you've been hoping yourself to get to. Cancers, in particular, I want you to focus on this month on reflecting on your indulgences, right? And then also to your safety nets that you might fall back into. There's always this thing with Cancers, right? They're the crab. They love to scuttle back to their home, right? And they love to really invest in things that make them feel safe. Push yourself out of your comfort zone, but also to make sure that you identify where that comfort zone is first. Leos, this is all about finances for you this month. Yes, we're having the new moon and the full moon in your 2nd and then your 8th houses, which are big money houses, right? So make sure that you're expecting potentially, right, getting some raises, getting some coin, getting all that good zhuzh, but also too that you're going after it, right? You're not just allowing yourself to sit and say, well, some astrologer told me that I'm going to make money, so I'm going to make money. Make a plan and make sure that you achieve how much you want to achieve. Virgos, this month, I want you guys to be focusing on the relationship with yourself and with others. New moon's happening in Virgo, right? Full moon is happening in Pisces, your first and then your seventh house. So really saying, what do I need to work on, right? In order so that I could be the best partner for other people, right? Not just romantic, right? But also to your platonic friendships as well. Really focus on how much growth do you need to do in order to be the best person for everyone else. Libras, it might be Virgo season, but there are so many planets going to be in your sign this month, right? So it's really focusing on the self, right? The self-identity, right? Self-love, self-expression, the way that the self integrates with other people. And then also as well too, thinking about your own action, right? And your own balance throughout life, making sure that you are exerting as much energy, right? And creative potential as you have. Really focus on you this month. Scorpios, it is all about love for you guys, right? Venus is going to be moving into your sign. So Venus is all about making sure that you express love, express creativity, and express that intimate connection between two people, right? And we also too have the full and the new moons, which are happening in pretty decent, nice houses for you guys, right? In the 5th, and then also too the 11th houses, which are very social, very intimate houses. So really focus on getting yourself out there, right? Pushing yourself to make those relationships. Sagittarius is for y'all. I want you to really focus on the new moon that's happening at the beginning of this month and how you can use it to catapult yourself, right? To get over the summer hump with your career or whatever your goals and objectives are. You know, we can all get a little bit lazy during the summer, right? And we can be a little bit more relaxed and really not focus as much on, I can get it done later. Now is the time later's here, right? Now is the time to get it done and make a plan for it. Capricorns, I want you to really reflect on the commitments that you have to other people, right? Really thinking about your relationships that you have. And if you might be committing too much potentially to the career, right? Committing too much to work as opposed to committing to the intimate connection that you have with all of those around you. So make sure that you're really putting in just a little bit more effort towards your relationship and your relationship building there. Aquariuses, right? All the planets that are going to be moving through Libra are going to be making nice interactions to Jupiter and Saturn, which are currently in your home sign right now. So really thinking about the risk-taking opportunities, right, in the path that you're on. Are you being diligent, right? Are you looking at the big picture, or are you kind of just going with the flow? Really make sure that you put in a conscientious effort to make sure that everything is still on track and you're still pushing yourself to grow and to develop, as opposed to just getting a little complacent, because once we hit the Mercury retrograde, we are not going to want complacency. And finally, my lovely Pisces, I want you guys to embrace the truth of yourself. Full moon is happening in Pisces, right? And then think about the new moon, which is happening in the 7th house, right? Happening in Virgo. So setting intentions for the new relationships, right? Saying, okay, here I am. Here's who I am, right? This is my truth, my identity, and my expression of that. Now I can take that and catapult it into beginning new relationships with other people. And with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for listening to this September horoscope. If you guys want to learn more about astrology, about tarot, about rituals, about spells, crystals, anything like that, make sure to check all of the other videos on the Smudge Wellness YouTube. Check us out on Instagram as well too, to get all of your spiritual wellness knowledge that you guys need. Sending you guys so much love in September. It's gonna be a good one.